Welcome back to Get Up. Game of the night. Jay Will is in the house. All right, so let's break this one down. This shocker. Warriors were 9-0 at home. Jason Tatum can't hit the side of a barn last night, and they still win. Steph had it all going on early.
Yeah, initially in the game, there's a series of miscommunications. You're seeing one right there on what they're doing, interchanging parts as it relates to switching. And Steph got going and set a record for first quarter threes.
But then came the fourth quarter with the Celtics trailing by 10, and Jaylen Brown was the guy who got them going.
Look, this is what you need in a team sport. A lot of people will talk about Jason Tatum, but Jaylen Brown either scored or assisted on 20 of their team's first 23 points in the fourth quarter.
Derek White, midseason pickup, having a great playoffs, really since the birth of his child. And how about Al Horford in his first NBA Finals?
I mean, it was only a year ago where Al Horford was playing in OKC, was not playing, and people were wondering if he was still going to play in the league. And looking at him having a huge presence in the NBA Finals.
9 for 12 at three-pointers were the Celtics down the stretch. And there goes Horford, leading everyone, 26 points, 6 rebounds. Here are the Splash Brothers after the loss.
It's about winning 4 games by any means necessary. And for 42 minutes, we did enough to win the game tonight. That's not how the basketball works. So I think everything starts to become on the table when you look at trying to get ourselves back in the series on Sunday and taking it from there.
It was a tough loss, especially the way we did lose, squandering a 15-point lead. Very, very rare for us. So it's not the end of the world, and we'll regroup tomorrow, and we'll bring a much better effort on Sunday.
And with last night's loss, the Warriors fall to 21-3 in game ones in the postseason under Steve Kerr. They had one game, they lost game one in the 2019 NBA Finals against Toronto, and then they rallied from a 3-1 deficit in the 2016 Conference Finals to beat the Thunder in 7 games after they dropped that game one at home. So, Jay Will, good to have you here.
Good to be here.
So while we have you, let's get right to it. This absolute stunner of a fourth quarter. What did you see? How did the Celtics pull that out last night?
This is such a casual thing to say, but I laugh at it because for so many years, people were really trying to break up this duo of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, right?
Sure, even mid-season this year,
yeah,
right?
We're talking about Jason Tatum having 13 assists, but we never talk about the impact that he has in the game unless Jaylen Brown doesn't go bonkers at the beginning of the fourth quarter. And a lot of times, Legs, it feels like people overlook how important Jaylen Brown is to this team, and just the contrast between how Klay Thompson moves and how prolific of a scorer he is to Jaylen Brown being, it seems like a Gen Z version of a millennial version of Klay Thompson, shows you the reason why the Boston Celtics won that game. He is the main point. Granted, Derek White, Al Horford made some critical shots, but Jaylen Brown's explosion in the fourth really helped them get there.
Yeah, that's what Horford said afterwards. He said it was all Brown, and we all just fed off of that coming out in the fourth.
The three-point barrage is what everyone's going to be talking about this morning. Man, did you see the way the Celtics shot the ball in the fourth quarter? Jaylen Brown saved that game in the first 6 minutes of the fourth quarter. And one of those two guys you knew eventually was going to find their rhythm. He got going off the bounce, got to his spots, got to the rim, got to his mid-range, some pull-up threes. For me, that is what gave that team so much confidence to finish the game the way they did. But if he doesn't have that little mini individual run at the start of the fourth quarter, and they're still down 10-12 with 6 minutes to go, and Steph Curry comes back in the game, I think Golden State wins the game. So Jaylen Brown, to me, saved the night for them despite all the three-point shooting.
Right. I mean, Vince, especially with Tatum struggling the way that he was.
I thought Jaylen Brown understood the moment. He understood Tatum's not rolling. It's time for me to take a step forward. It's time to be a little more aggressive and be the go-to guy to make this happen. And I think he understands when Tatum going, he takes a back seat, if you would, as far as his aggressive. He still is aggressive, but I think they put the ball in his hand and let him go. And he was hitting shots. He was aggressive. He was getting into the paint, making plays for others. He did it all. And like Leg said, he doesn't have this early run in the fourth. We're talking about a different story.
And how about the Celtics just mentally 8-2 on the road now? They win 3 in Miami. They take game one. They take home court here. All right, so we are going to play a little game of fact or fiction. Jay Will, we're going to start with you.
Okay.
Klay Thompson, all right, we just talked about him. He had 15 points in game one. Will he have a bigger impact in game two? I'm going to say he does have a bigger impact in game two. Is that fact or fiction?
I'll take fact on that. Look, a lot of people are going to kind of create these narratives today about, I'm really worried about the Golden State Warriors. This is a one-game series at a time. And I'm not going to tell you that Klay Thompson doesn't have the same burst that he's had multiple years ago. And I think you see that when he's guarded against the long athletic wings of Boston. But if there's a guy who has a high basketball IQ who can get going offensively, I can believe in Klay Thompson when it's all said and done.
All right, Vince, Steph Curry, we talked about it in the run-up to the series. He will win Finals MVP, fact or fiction? Wow.
I think this is the easy one for me, Hannah. If the Golden State Warriors are able to pull this off and win it, Steph Curry will be the Finals MVP because of his impact.
Okay, that's an if, though. I don't know about that, Vince. All right, Legs, the Celtics can win the series with the version of Jason Tatum that we saw last night. 12 points, 13 dimes. Fact or fiction?
I think that's fiction. Look, I understand his playmaking was a big part of it. I think Golden State overloaded to him a little bit too much, like overhelped. And it allowed some naked looks at the three-point line. At some point here, Jason Tatum's going to have to put his stamp on this series as a scorer. So, no, I don't think you can see similar stat lines throughout and expect the Boston Celtics to win this series.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.